A major part and skill in statistics is being able to demonstrate and graph your information and results. There are different types of statistical graphs. This first one is a frequency distribution. It's where the data values are listed in one column and the adjacent column indicates the number of times that value occurs. In this situation, we have a stress rating. All of the students were asked, how stressed have you been in the last week? Rank it on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being not stressed at all and 10 being stressed out as much as possible. The frequency of the student responses are given over here in the right. So, by looking at this chart, which stress rating describes the least number of students? Well, I will look under the frequency for the smallest number, and this would be my least amount of students. And that stress rating is a rating of 1. So the rating they had was 1 out of 10. That was the least answer given. Now, how many students responded with this stress rating of 1? That would have been a total of 3 students. So you can tell how you easily look at the two columns to decipher the information from this survey. Another type of graph in statistics is called a histogram. This is where the data can be displayed using bar graphs that touch each other. Across the bottom here, we'll see the starting salaries in thousands of dollars of some recent college graduates. We will see the frequency right here along the vertical axis. Now, by looking at this histogram, how many college graduates made between $51,000 and $55,000? Well, if I look at the salary, that would be this 5th class or 5th bar that I see in the graph. I go to the top of that bar and look back over here. Well, that would be approximately 125. And that is our frequency of how many graduates made between $51,000 and $55,000. Now, true or false? The graph is based on a sample of approximately 400 recent college graduates. To tell how many students were actually used in this survey, we need the top of each bar. So this would be approximately 75 people ranked in that first classification, and then approximately 140 we're having to estimate. Then we would have approximately, let's say that's about 320. And I think you can see the answer from here. We already had seen that the 46 to 50, that would be about 275. The 51 to 50 we had looked at, 55, excuse me, that was 125. This 56 to $60,000 group, there were 50 people there. And then the 61 to 65,000 looks to be about 25. These are the frequencies, the numbers of people who answered this survey on the starting salaries. Obviously, that's much more than 400. So this statement is false. Again, a histogram is a great way to quickly visualize your data. Another statistical graph is called the frequency polygon. The frequency polygon is created if you take the midpoints of a histogram and then you connect those midpoints with straight lines. And the result is what we call a polygon or a line graph. Now, using this frequency polygon, let's answer the question, during what time did the highest number of disease cases occur? Remember, the frequency is over here to the left. The highest bar is between June and July. So that answer would be between June and July. Now, true or false? The cases of disease in October to November, so this is the bar that represents October to November, they were lower than the cases reported in April to May. Here is the bar that corresponds to April to May. We see that that is true. The October-November bar had a lower number of cases than the April to May. Another popular statistical graph is called the stem and leaf plot. It's a data presentation that separates your data into two parts. You will have stems, which are the first numbers of each data value, and then over here on the right we see attorneys. So when you see this first row, that actually means that we had an attorney 29 and 29. So we had two different attorneys, both at age 29. If you look at this second row, that means we had 30, 30, 31, 31, 32, 35, 38, and 39. So the 3 is actually paired with each number behind it to represent ages of lawyers, attorneys in their 30s. Now the question is, what's the age of the oldest attorney? The oldest attorney would be down here with the stem 7, and that would be not 71, but 72. So 72 is our oldest attorney. What is the age of the youngest attorney? The youngest attorney would be up here with stem 2. Notice how we had two attorneys that had ages of 29, so the youngest age was 29. Now the last statistical graph we're going to talk about is one of the most popular that you see in many newspapers and magazines. It is the pie chart or the circle graph. It is created when you take a percentage of the data from your survey and it's presented as a portion of a circle. In this pie graph or pie chart, you see the favorite type of movie of a survey. Let's answer these questions. True or false? More people like comedy movies than action movies. Well, comedy movies had 20% of this sample and action movies had 25%. Did more people like comedy than action? No, the action was the highest. So this would be a false statement. It was the opposite of the truth. Question B says approximately how many people reported that they like drama or sci-fi? If you recall, the word or means union, so it would include both these values. Well, 5% of my sample like drama, 20% of my sample like sci-fi. So if I'm going to unite these or take the union, that would be a total of 25% of the people liked either drama or sci-fi. I hope this has helped you understand statistical graphs just a bit more.